Hey everyone, this is Brian from Jank and Fuzzball, and we are here for the final installment of our 12 Days of Dollar Packs. It is Christmas morning. I hope you and yours are having a really nice time, whether you celebrate the season or not. This has been such a fun experience for me to just crack some packs, talk about them. Certainly rekindles my love for Star Wars Destiny. It is kind of a Destiny-less Christmas, unfortunately. No packs were given to my son, and nor will they be received by me. So, in years past, certainly I've folded some Destiny into the Christmas experience, but game's gone, and so we can only do the best we can. I'm excited, though, to be cracking these packs for the last 12 days. We are finally here. This is it, the last pack. So, again, to recap, these were packs I bought for only $1 at a local Barnes & Noble. And after this episode, so tomorrow or the next day, we're going to do one last recap of the 12 days. So far we've opened 11 different packs, gotten some very interesting things to discuss, but this is it. What are the odds it's a legendary? Probably not good mathematically, but I'm crossing my fingers and we shall see. If you've managed to buy any dollar packs at your local Barnes & Noble, perhaps, I would love to know if you pulled anything interesting. So let me know in the comments for sure. All right, let's get cracking one last time. All right, not the legendary we were hoping for, but it is a card we have not yet seen. It is Underhanded Tactics. Look at that. It is a yellow villain upgrade ability. And you can see it's 1 cost. It has a +1 range, a discard, 2 specials, and a blank. The special reads, deal 1 indirect to an opponent. You may resolve another one of your dice. This is really interesting. Greg and I have been playing some various decks. And I remember within the last couple of months or so, this card coming up pretty big in situations which were kind of surprising. That special, being able to deal an indirect damage and then resolve another one of your dice is pretty huge. So don't totally dismiss it. It's got some great art. Obviously, it looks like someone of Greedo's ilk with his hand cut off. So 2 modified sides, +1/+1, not ideal. And then you have the discard, that's fine. But 2 specials, which are, it's an indirect damage, so that's damage. And you get to resolve, a little bit of action cheating, you resolve another one of your dice. So it's 1 cost. That's also nice. When you're working with upgrades, you want to get cheap ones down if possible, and then you can always overwrite into this later. But that special has defeated me on, I believe, more than one occasion, kind of out of nowhere, being able to deal a damage and then resolve something else. So that sneaky 1 indirect certainly has closed a game against me, which is unfortunate. So not the legendary we were hoping for, but it's a card we didn't pull. And it's something that I have certainly used, and I would probably continue to use, depending on what kind of a yellow villainry deck you're going with. Let's take a look at the uncommon. Start your engines. Oh no. Search your deck for a pod racer, reveal it, and add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck. So again, Way of the Force was the big pod racing set, and there are 3 pod racers in the set. There's Sebulba's pod racer, which is a villain. There's Anakin's pod racer, which is the hero, and then there's the gray 1 cost pod racer. So if you're really looking to find one of those pod racers, like you really need one of those cards, this will get there. I've never put it in a deck, but certainly if you're looking specifically for those pod racers to get on the table, this could be useful. I take it back. I would say episode 2, maybe 3 of my podcast, I had a Sebulba Commandos deck, Mandalorian Super Commandos deck, and I needed Sebulba's pod racer out. So maybe I included this way back then, but it's certainly been a while since I've done that. I don't know. It's not, again, it's very, very specific. You got to be running pod racers. There you go. How about our comments? Desperate Hour, guys. It's not getting any better. It's a 2 cost hero event. Play only if the combined remaining health of your characters is 3 or less. Ready a character. Oh my gosh, has anyone ever included this card in a deck? Talk about situational. You're spending 2, your natural allotment of resources, but what's most constraining is you have to have a combined health of 3 or less on all your characters. 3 or less. It's at the end of the game. You're about to die. It is indeed a desperate hour, and then you can ready a character. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, never have I ever played this card, so I don't know. What do you think? Think it's possible? I mean, if you draw this after mulliganing, it's sad. It's a feel bad moment because you're not using that until the very end, and even then you're just you're throwing up a Hail Mary, and that's really what that is. Obviously, desperate hour. Next up, glancing shot. Now here's one I do like, and I do include occasionally in my red decks. It's a red 1-cost neutral event. Resolve one of your dice showing damage, decreasing its value by 1, then remove a die. So it takes one of your die naturally showing damage. For the cost of 1, you get to resolve that die and remove another die. So that's pretty nice. Remove any die. There are no restrictions. It can be as big or as small of a value as you want. The one thing is that you decrease its value by 1. So you don't want to pay 1 and then resolve a 1 cost, because then that takes it down to 0. So that's kind of a feel bad, I guess, if you're absolutely desperate. But assuming you have something out there like a 2 or even a 3 that you're willing to reduce by 1, so you pay 1, you reduce the value of that, but then you get to remove a die. So that's what I like about it. I've included it in some decks. I'm sure I've resolved it at least once or twice. It's not the sexiest card out there, but it is removal. And so, again, you have to have a die out there showing damage, and then you have to be able to resolve it. Then there's the keyword then. So if you can't do the first part, you cannot do the second part. All right, here we are, the very last card, the very last common of the 12 Days to Dollar packs. Look at that, it's a battlefield. Let's turn that around. Calm Tower. This is super interesting. Resolve one of your dice, increasing its value by 1 if you spot a plot. That is the claim ability. So Calm Tower on Scarif, resolve one of your dice, increasing its value by 1 if you spot a plot. It's a basic battlefield, but it's actually one, and to be completely honest, yesterday I started building a deck to play with my buddy Greg this coming weekend, and it's a Phasma Trooper deck. So Phasma 2 Troopers, and I'm running the plot that allows you to resolve your Trooper die as if they were showing indirect damage as a value of 1. So that's useful. Troopers roll a lot of blanks, but then it turns those blanks into indirect roll of 1. This is what I'm going to run, actually. Calm Tower of Scarif. Resolve one of your dice, increasing its value by 1 if you spot a plot. So imagine I have a trooper sitting out there with a blank. I can claim, and then I can resolve that dice as if it were showing indirect, and then increasing its value by 1. So that would turn a blank effectively into a 2 indirect. So there you go. Now, of course, that all is the benefit of that plot, whose name escapes me. But it is that red trooper plot that allows you to resolve trooper dice that's showing a blank as a value of 1 indirect. So there you go. That's a nice battlefield. Now, obviously it's not an overpowered battlefield, and you have to be running a plot, but not terrible. I'm excited. Maybe I'll get to resolve it this coming weekend. We will see. Obviously, we're playing TTS, just so you know. Still haven't rolled a whole lot of dice in 2020. Physical dice. Well, that's it. Man, it was fun. And we're going to recap everything we pulled. So last 2, we pulled a red, and then today we pulled a yellow. So that kind of, there's a race to the top between those 2 colors in terms of the majority of the 12 dice that we pulled. So there you have it. We got our 1 legendary out of the 12 packs. Mathematically, I was hoping for more than that, but such is life. And if you follow Jank at Fuzzball, you know that legendaries do not come my way very often in terms of for the show recordings. So that's par for the course. Hey, thank you so much for sticking with me. Thank you for joining me for the 12 Days of Dollar Packs. I hope you're all having a very, very nice holiday. And I will be back, if not tomorrow, the next day, to put a bow on this and recap the 12 Days of Dollar Packs. This has been a lot of fun. I'm excited to do some more video work in the near future. That'll also involve cracking packs and maybe doing some building. So we'll see. I hope you'll consider following me along on that journey as well. Thank you so much, and we will see you for the recap of the 12 Days of Dollar Packs. Thanks.